Or they're busy regardless. Like it's okay.
All right. So today, Deepika and I are going to be presenting. I don't even know what to really call it. A concept, maybe, is the best way to put it in Hindustani music called Sawal Jawab. And what Sawal Jawab is, well, in Hindi, Sawal means question and Jawab means answer. And Sawal Jawab basically is like a question answer session between two musicians. So if you have two instrumentalists, one of the instrumentalists is the question asker, and one instrumentalist is answering the question. And so a musical question is asked in a certain set of beats, and then the other musician answers in the same set of beats. And it gets progressively faster and faster. So starting with a whole rhythmic cycle, then half a rhythmic cycle, a quarter, an eighth, until the musicians come together. You can also see this happen sometimes with percussion and instrument. So you'll sometimes have melody, like something played on the melody, and then the tabla player or percussionist will play something in response that kind of sounds the same. We'll be playing this in Rag Yaman Kalyan. The scale for Yaman is like this. In descending. It's a late night rag. It's also typically one of the first rags taught to students. So when I first started learning sitar, this is what I played. And then I really didn't revisit it that much for a long time until recently Deepika shared with me a really beautiful composition by Ali Akbar Khan in Yaman Kalyan, and that's brought me to revisit it. So basically we'll play Sawal Jawab and you'll get to hear what it sounds like, but first we'll play a little bit of Alap, which is the unstructured, unrhythmic section that starts most Hindustani performances. And I'll be playing a composed Alap, which I believe was composed by Ravi Shankar and performed by his daughter Anushka Shankar. And then Deepika will be doing a non-composed, semi-improvised Alap. Yeah, hope you enjoy.
Finally, I get to say that. Jawab nahi. So can I ask, who was asking questions and who was answering? Is it fixed or does it not? Or can you both just play that role?
I think it can alternate, but usually it's just one person
It's
asking the
usually
question.
one
So
person.
Deepika was doing
I
the
was
question
asking.
asking.
And you, how do I know this? As a listener, how do I know this?
Because I'm setting the pattern.
Yes,
That
you
is
were
me.
setting the pattern
Yes.
and he was
Following
following
the
it.
pattern.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's following, does that mean answer? Or you,
Yeah, because sometimes
Yeah.
you change. You always
Yeah.
keep the same rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
yeah.
change the
notes.
notes that are used, but often you
Uh-huh.
just repeat.
oh,
Yeah.
I see.
What the person
Okay,
has
so it's not that if she's asking a question, you are going to answer something differently. It's still,
Yeah.
okay.
Or
so
you-
it's
you
more
can.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
you because then it's not exactly mimic because you want to like
so you
mirror
want to
the
mimic,
person.
yeah. So it's
yes.
basically more like
You
a
wanna
challenge
mirror.
that, oh, I am doing
Exactly,
this,
exactly,
and can
yeah.
you
Yeah.
repeat or maybe add some of your own
Yeah,
jizz in
yeah,
it and
yeah,
then repeat
yeah.
what I'm
Exactly,
doing?
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Without
Yeah.
changing the whole pattern
Okay.
or idea that was
So how do you remember how many times she has played something? Is it just like a fixed pattern that you know the rag follows that pattern, or do you really count? Oh, she did that 3 times. Like I'm counting in my head how many times she's doing it. So do you do that, or it just
So there's
a
kind of a
framework?
fixed pattern to it. So
Okay.
there's like the rhythmic cycle of 16
Uh-huh.
beats that keeps repeating. And
Okay.
so it starts with like 16, like
Uh-huh.
the question asker plays for 16,
Yes.
the answer plays for 16. You
Okay.
do that 4 times, then you switch to 8
I see.
and do that.
So you're not really
Yeah,
counting. Oh,
we-
she played that 1 time and 2 times of that and 3 times of
Well,
that.
we sat down and
You do
We did
we
coordinate.
thought about all
Okay.
this. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we did kind of
Yeah.
set patterns as these many times
Okay.
we're gonna do these many cycles, and
Okay.
Yeah.
and the last part was composed. You know,
Okay.
So
That was my
Just-
question too. Did you practice like? in
we did.
exact
Yeah.
same
No, we had to
pattern?
because the
Yeah.
coordination is required in order to execute.
Yeah. So it usually requires a little bit because they come together in the end and then you have
Yes.
to play the same thing, but
Yeah.
then you have to know what that thing is.
Yes.
So there's
Yeah.
usually a little bit of preparation in advance.
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah.
like it. I mean, I heard
Yeah.
in one of your set up the question, and your response was you had different notes, but it was the same tempo.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That
the
was really
rhythmic
good.
The rhythm is
idea.
all-
Yeah, you
all
don't.
the
Yeah,
same.
trying to keep the rhythmic
Another
idea.
question, like even you practice a lot, do you find yourself when you perform every time it's kind of different, or you perform exactly the same? every
No,
time?
it's
Every
different.
time it's
It's
different.
different.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like even to like the things that we were playing earlier, it's different from what we
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
Like we planned a basic outline of
Basic,
what we
right.
would do,
Yeah.
but the very specifics of like which notes we're gonna play
Yeah.
wasn't planned.
Yeah, and different in a way that do you follow any pattern, or you find yourself asking question in different order? Every time.
That can happen. Yeah. Like I can ask but I definitely like wanted to stay a little focused. So
Okay.
I thought about what
So the question asker usually are more like
yeah, you have to be
every
on,
time
a little
the
bit
same-
on top of it.
on
Yeah.
top- okay,
yeah.
the answer
Because
is-
the answer can be like, all right, you did 4
Oh.
beats again. I'll go ahead and do the 4
Yeah.
beats
Okay.
again.
So you are often.
But then
like,
you can be
different.
in the middle of the cycle if
Yeah.
you know, so you don't want to do that because you want to end exactly at the end of the cycle
Right.
so that you can start your next round.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be kind of aware of what.
I don't know which is more difficult though. It's hard to say because like the question asker has to be original and think of like an
Yes.
interesting question, but
Yes.
then
Oh,
the
You have to
answerer has to
follow-
like completely follow the
Yeah,
rhythm
yeah,
and
yeah,
all.
yeah.
those are very challenging.
It's
So-
both are challenging.
Do you ever try to throw off the other person?
Well, not this time, but
They
not this time.
do. They do.
This time we were like
fighting
trying to hold it together.
Right?
I think sometimes you see that with like
Yes.
really talented
Yes.
musicians.
Masters,
Yes.
yeah.
And they bring it to the point where it just like falls apart, and they kind of
Yeah.
laugh about it, and then they
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
fun to
totally,
watch.
totally, yeah,
We
yeah,
do
yeah.
watch it.
Yeah,
It is
right.
fun.
If it's performing something.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of
So
it's an audience
watch.
favorite. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Give
very
you
fun
argument.
and engaging. Yeah, yeah.
And it's very cool to see it between an instrument and a drum because
Yes.
they're really
Yes.
talented
Yes.
drummers.
With
Yes.
tabla, it's
Yeah.
really fun too.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to bring out the melody too, in
Uh-huh.
addition to just the rhythmic
Yeah.
idea.
What's the role
Yeah.
of the
That's
tabla?
great.
Like,
The
what did you
rhythmic,
say?
The
Like,
drum.
yeah,
So you
the
can also
tabla,
have the
what they
drum
do-
be the answer.
Oh, you talk about one sitar and then
The
and the
tabla will
tabla is the
follow.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
yeah.
fun.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Oh,
It's
You
yeah,
should
fun.
go to
because
more
they're very
shows.
two different
You will like it,
dynamics.
Momo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
fun.
Join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
Wait, I'll tell you where the next one is.
Definitely wanna go.
I made
You
mention
should
in the
go.
calendar.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see.
Deepika knows everything and everyone.
You have your encyclopedia.
She has
Yes.
recruited 75% of the people.
Oh wow.
Was the
That's
initial
amazing.
little composition, was that a Kansab composition?
It was a Ravi Shankar.
Ravi
Shankar.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
you
he,
can kind of saw with all the Krintan going on.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, there was. I was just listening. I was driving back to SF from Palo Alto, as I often do, and wanted to listen to some Yaman. And the first thing that came up was this recording by Anushka Shankar, which was the very brief alap that I played, and then followed by the gut that we
Okay.
played. But then we
Yeah.
didn't play the rest of the composition, just
Yeah,
the
we
gut.
didn't
and
for the
then-
rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
For next time.
that was our inspiration.
I want to go to a show where there are 2 sitars, a sarod, and 3 tabla players.
Oh, okay.
They're
That-
fighting.
Oh.
The birthday.
And what's the order of
That happens once a year at the birthday concert.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's true.
And you get
Oh,
seven.
that's true.
You get
That's true.
But
you
there's
get seven.
only
Yeah,
so
you get
You
seven.
weren't there
Well, the
Yeah.
one that yeah.
It didn't
that's
go
right.
this
But you,
So
you were there the
good.
year before. Yeah, I saw you
This
there.
year was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
But
missed
then when
it
I was
too,
yeah.
It is. It's very fun.
I
Okay, we should let the next person come
Yeah,
right
it's
back.
online. Check out Monix.
Oh, is it? Oh,
You ready?
But not. I don't know if I'm allergic to her yet.
Look at her.
Is everybody sitting?
Yeah.
All right.
Today I am very happy to meet with you, and suddenly my daughter and daughter-in-law said, Ma, you sing something. Why not? All saying something and singing something to you also. So I thought I sing about God. God is everything present, so I want to sing about it.
Go, Mom. Woohoo!
Oh, are you ready?
Yes.
Singing please. Okay. मन धीरज धरो संतोष करो प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी मन धीरज धरो संतोष करो प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी फूलों में नहीं कलियों में नहीं फूलों में नहीं कलियों में नहीं पातों में मिलेंगे कभी न कभी पातों में मिलेंगे कभी न कभी मन धीरज धरो संतोष करो प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी मन धीरज धरो संतोष करो प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी बूढ़ों में नहीं युवकों में नहीं बूढ़ों में नहीं युवकों में नहीं बच्चों में मिलेंगे कभी न कभी बच्चों में मिलेंगे कभी न कभी मन धीरज धरो संतोष करो प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी मन धीरज धरो संतोष करो प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी महलों में नहीं ना कभी झोपड़ी में मिलेंगे, कभी ना कभी मन धीरज धरो, संतोष करो, प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी, मन धीरज धरो, संतोष करो, प्रभु मिलेंगे कभी न कभी न कभी.
No,
Incredible voice.
no,
You
what,
like?
I love
Where
it.
you?
now what raga was that? Who can tell me what raga was that?
Good mistake.
Bahut
Oh,
acha hua.
questions.
Questions.
Questions. हाँ,
What's the lyrics?
lyrics about God is everyone,
Everywhere.
everywhere. If any place you heartily call God, everywhere present and help you.
You have. It's asking you to have some patience because God is
patience.
everywhere. So just
Yeah.
have the patience and believe in yourself, and God is everywhere and everything.
Yeah. You have patience.
And God means gods and goddesses is like a
God
Yeah,
means
God,
goddess,
And God. No,
And God,
no, it
not
doesn't have to be
specific.
male. No.
And
not
anyone.
not a
No.
man.
So any deity that you can
Yeah.
think you want to
Yeah.
think that
God means both.
you can call for it.
You doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't even need to attach a face if that's what is your jam. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It just sounds spiritual stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then any question?
Could you,
Other one?
Could you sing, could that be love is everywhere?
Yeah.
Because God's Allah.
Love is a type.
Yeah.
Love is
God.
God. If,
Yeah.
if you want to look
Yeah.
at it that way,
that's
it
what
is.
Yeah.
Love is many things.
How did you learn the song?
I was teacher. I teach in a school.
Oh wow.
I know that song too.
Taught in
Oh.
Because I studied
Huh.
in the same school where
Same
Marty had
school.
taught.
So suddenly, well, now you have to sing. Well, it's okay. I remember
Ma when did he retire? Last year?
last year,
Yeah. She just, yeah.
2020.
Ma joined, okay, I think, yeah. I'll
Ah.
probably, yeah, she joined when I was in grade 2. So she was my
Grade
teacher
two.
for a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was very strict. And yeah, she was very strict.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Good.
And then everybody thought she would going to give me higher grades than everyone because she's my mom. So she had to be extra strict
Yeah,
with me.
sometimes
I still did because my
Was she a good student?
she was good student. But my head teacher
Just
not
for-
allowed to go in your in same class in your younger daughter study. Well, maybe you help them. Well, no, it's
during
not
exam, she wasn't allowed to be in the
not
same
allowed.
class. Yeah.
Yeah,
So interesting.
yeah, very interesting.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you.
Yeah. Doing other.
Well, no, I don't know.
Oh,
No.
press play at the top. This is Apple's.
Okay, I know work with an Apple. All right. So hi everyone. What I'm going to do is share with you something which is very close to my heart. So I love watching movies, and many of you know that. I love talking about movies, and of all, I watch many different types of movies in many different languages, but of course, there's one director that is very, very close to my heart, and for many reasons. One being that he is Bengali. His name is Satyajit Ray, and he. This is just very close because I grew up amidst this culture, and that's one of the reasons why I think I want to share this with everyone. If he is new to you, I hope you maybe one day go back home and then explore some of his movies. But if you already know about him, I hope we can walk through this. This is kind of jogging your memory, and we'll walk through this together. Noah, I can't see the little text that I had. So now how do I see that? Now I don't remember. I prepared everything, but I can't see my little text.
I need
Oh, text I see.
presenter
Do you
view,
see
please.
Yeah, my presenter view. Where's my presenter view?
Just a minute. This is
Oh,
apples.
this is all Apple stuff. My Windows is just fine.
This is funny.
It is fine.
Okay.
You okay?
Everything
What
all right?
happened?
You okay?
I think
All right.
this is uneven, and I dropped tea. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But you're okay, right?
Yeah, I think it's just. Oh, I guess it's like half on the fireplace thing. That's
Can I use my laptop? No. This is funny. Oh, it's okay actually. You know
Why
what?
don't
no,
you just-
no.
why don't
I'm
you
gonna
just do
talk
both?
about it from my desk, and then you move
I'll
that for me.
flip 'em.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, this film is very feminist, right?
Yes.
1963,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. All right. We're not gonna stop. We will
And
roll.
look, it's the color red again.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Although it's a
Yeah,
black and
right.
white movie. But yeah.
All right. I'm gonna see stuff from here, and I'm gonna talk about
Oh.
it. Yes. Can I go back to the title card? All right. So yeah. So what I was saying is that Ray or Dada, as he's known as Bengal, he's among many things. He's well known as a film director, a screenwriter. He is an author, a lyricist because he makes many of the music that you hear in his movies by himself. He was also a magazine editor, illustrator, and Noah is very inspired by him. He loves to draw little things, especially instructions when he makes movies. He was a calligrapher and a composer. And he's definitely considered one of the greatest and most influential film directors in the history of cinema. So this is just a few title cards from many of the movies that I have loved and enjoyed. And I'm going to talk about one specific movie, to the next one, which is basically called Mahanagar, also The Big City. It was released in 1963. There are a couple of reasons why I want to talk about this movie. One is it's about Calcutta, and I grew up. Calcutta was the closest, biggest metropolitan city where I grew up, and in our dreams when we were growing up, it was a big thing. And my father always told us, one day we'll go to Calcutta. That happened many years back, many years after, when my sister was in grade 12. But it was just a thing in our mind that, oh, wow, a metropolitan city, Calcutta, right? So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is, if you see here, it's a very feminist movie, and we'll get into some of the details of that. And it's a movie about a working woman. And one of the first working women in my family is my mom. Nobody really was. So my mom was the first one who actually, the woman that I know in my immediate family who started working. And with that, it was a very new dynamics in my family. And we experienced that and we saw that. And this movie is a story about a woman who starts working. So I thought this is a very fitting moment to actually talk about this. The movie talks about financial independence for women, which is something that I consider is really important. And I appreciate that I learned that earlier in my life, that my father actually taught me, and I really appreciate him for teaching me that. And the movie is also about partnership, and 4th of June was my parents' 43rd anniversary, so this all just comes together, and I think the movie is very fitting based on that. Next slide now. All right, so what this is basically, what we are going to do is, I'll just give a very brief introduction to what this movie is. And the movie actually follows this character called Arati, and she's a housewife who takes a job as a saleswoman to support her struggling middle-class family in Calcutta. And with this newfound independence and confidence that she gets, what happens is that it unsettles her very traditional in-laws who have a very traditionalist mindset. And it somewhat creates a little tension with her husband as well, though that does get resolved. Some things happen and Arati becomes the sole breadwinner in her family. And while all this is going on, her moral principles are also tested, and she stands up but because she stands up for one of her colleagues, actually, who was fired unjustly. So this is a full circle of how a woman who starts from kitchen goes out into the world, makes money, and slowly learns and accepts herself, and then becomes this very confident person. So the movie starts with her decision to actually start working. No, still go back. Yeah, her decision to actually start working. So you'll see. So there are some stills from the movie which I think are really, really interesting and powerful. So both husband and wife, they decide that this is time for her to go out and maybe look for a job. So she sends her application, she gets the job, and now she's signing this contract on the left side. So that's just the first thing where she decides to work. Now the next one, once that decision has been made, once that decision has been made, what happens is this patriarchal pushback that comes along with it. Because people are not comfortable. They know that maybe women can work out of necessity, but this is still something that is still not widely accepted. And the pushback is coming in many, many different ways and from many, many different people, because this is something very against the traditional values that people are used to. So the film actually subtly exposes the double standards here of the Indian society, where a woman's earning, as I said, is both needed, but at the same time is resented. And so you see here how the gender roles are shifting, in the sense that on the left side, husband and wife are actually eating together, which is not something very common in India, because women always eat after feeding everybody in the family. So, but here, since both of them have to go out in the world and make money, now is the time that they both are actually eating together. So this is a huge thing. And on the right side, women is the one who's actually handling money, which is different from how traditionally it is done. So this is Aarti's move from domesticity to the workforce. And what is great about Ray is just how he portrays everything with a lot of humanism and realism, and highlights both the personal and societal cost of changes. That changes are great, but of course they come at certain costs. And he portrays it in such a realistic manner. And you see on the right side how Aarti is actually handling money, which is normally expected out of the male or the husband in the family. This is a very nice scene, because this is the first time actually Aarti gets her first salary, and then she smells financial independence, right? So so this is actually in a bathroom, and if you know anything about India, you know that it's a crowded place, and we don't have much privacy in India. Right. So bathroom is one of the few places where you can actually find hopefully some privacy. So this is her expression, where it's captured how she's proud of herself, and it's also anxious at the same time, because things are not black and white in how humans think. So this is a very fun thing that I like. She gazes at her reflection and she's proud of herself, and of course, who doesn't like to smell some green money, right?
It's like herself with the money.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
Exactly, right? Because you are not really the one who is earning it, right? You feel like you are a burden on your husband or someone, right? Yeah. But here now you're independent, so
always have to bag it.
Now the next thing is, of course, modernity and Western influence, which is something that, of course, I went through as well, growing up, being born in the 90s and growing up then. Here she is actually working with one of her colleagues who is an Anglo-Indian woman, and people are just more exposed to what's going on in the Western world. Here she's trying lipstick for the first time. Of course, she's excited about it. Also unsure how everybody else in the family is going to comment on it, because it's like showing off, which is not really expected of a good traditional Indian woman. Right. So that's an interesting part of how she herself. She knows that she's a traditional woman, but also that she's very curious about what's going on in the Western world. And she, being that curious, she tries things and sees how they make her feel. All right, so of course you see her relationship with her colleague here. She's close to her colleague. Next one, slowly, as as the movie progresses, what happens is the self-agency and the confidence that she gets. And there's an interesting time. So what happens is the boss actually fires the lady on the right, her colleague, unjustly, and makes inappropriate remarks about her character. And Arati, now that she's a confident and morally resolute person, she actually protests this move from the boss. And this act of solidarity that she shows towards her colleague and self-respect actually marks this full transformation of this lady who started in the kitchen and is now out and about in the world, very confident of herself and knows the moral standards that she should follow and stick to. And I think even in the current times, we do need to remember that even though we all do different jobs in our life, we depend on those jobs to support ourselves. Morality is something that you cannot completely get rid of. We all need to remember certain moral values that we should uphold, as Arati has showed in the movie. And last but not the least, of course, the movie ends in interesting note. It shows about partnership, and Arati resigns from after having that episode with the boss. She decides to resign, and she and her husband now face an uncertain future because he has also been fired from his job. But the thing is that they are together, and and very much hopeful and united despite all these challenges that they have to face in the big city, which is not perfect. So on the left side, I don't think you can see it, but you can at least see that it's a big city. It's not a perfect city, but they have a lot of hope, and they believe that the city is big enough for both of them to find their dreams together. So so that's basically the movie that I wanted to review. I hope you found something new here if you haven't seen this movie. And well, this is just one of the movies by Ray. He has a treasure trove of different movies. So have some fun when you have some free time. Go home and watch movies.
I love this. That you chose these two photographs to end with?
Yeah.
What is so interesting is I'm looking at it like they could be standing on a balcony, and that's just one big picture.
Yeah.
Oh, you feel like, these are two different pictures. Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
that's
it
what I
looks
thought,
like
actually.
it looks
Yeah.
more like they're having this special moment in the middle of all that chaos. But it's a great pairing.
Do you have to describe the last shot?
The one with the broken light? That's my interpretation of it.
The left side shot.
I don't know what do you want to say, but in my mind, it's basically they're now having this uncertain future in a big
Yeah.
city, which is not perfect, which is basically shown by that broken light.
Where's the broken wire?
I don't know if you can see it here. Maybe.
So pretty much the last shot it's the shot on the right. They leave and they wander out into the big city, and then the camera pans up, and then there is broken light.
I think it's basically showing that the city is not perfect.
That's
It's
so interesting.
all right.
As they're walking into the crowd, and then they disappear into the crowd, and it pans up, right? It pans
Yeah,
up
it pans
into
up.
that broken light,
Yeah.
and then stops at that broken
Yeah.
It's
light.
the, that's what you're saying. It's the uncertainty.
And that it's not perfect. Like
Yeah,
the city
yeah,
is
yeah.
big. It's not a perfect city, but it's probably big
I
enough
see, yeah.
for both of them. All right. No, you should start now.
So, a little bit. So this is a piece by Ali Akbar Khansa, whose photograph is here. So I'm feeling more self-conscious sitting right in front of him and playing it. So this is Garden of Dreams in one of his albums that has a mix of kind of contemporary and Indian classical music. And I don't know, I think there's been so much going on, and I know we all feel very similarly about things in this world. And I think we're all trying to find comfort in art and various kind of outlets in our lives, right? And I think this piece for me has been that. It's been somewhat an outlet, and it's actually a piece that I've been studying in a class at the Ali Akbar College, and I'm still working on it. There's so much room for me to grow, and but you know, it's just been something that I've enjoyed playing. So it's been kind of a point. So I'll start with kind of an introductory alap section that is also in the recording, and then I'll jump into the composition. The rag is Madhumalati, and it is actually a rag that was created by Kansa, which is kind of a mixture of multiple rags, including Bhakti, Madhuvanti, and elements of Pilu and Kafi as well. So if those mean anything to you, but even if they don't, that doesn't matter, because I think you'll still appreciate some of the unique kind of textures in this thing. And I'll try my best to see where I can go with this, but obviously, like, you know, I'm just like learning and just finding what I can find in this music, and you know, that's where it's at. So that was the introductory portion of the alap, and it will take me a second to switch over to the rhythmic section. So I think, oh well, it's not connected to my thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna just roll with this. Is the tanpura too loud? Is it good?
Yeah, I think it's good. Are you trying to connect it to something?
Well, I'm actually trying to connect it to my speaker. I just realized because this one that Sitar Khani is like not.
Do you want to use? No, do you have your speaker?
I do, but
I think it should work.
Okay.
I'm just trying to. Let's see.
Connected
There
to
it is.
home at you and Deepika's iPad.
Let's see. Thank you.
That was great, Deepika.
Yeah. If you,
And I do want to tell everyone that you actually just started learning Sarod. So it's a big deal
it's
that.
been it's been less than a year. Yes.
So it's
Yes.
amazing
Wow.
that you picked it up so quick.
It's been it's a work in progress for sure. Yeah, but it's just it's concepts music and it's so close to it. So
It was
it
amazing.
feels. Thank you. Yes.
What did you play before?
Sitar, which is what we're gonna be playing next.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Do you feel?
I'm still playing sitar.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes,
feel
yes,
a
yes.
very difference? Is there a huge difference in how you play sitar and Sarod?
There is, yeah, for sure. Yeah, in terms of like thinking about fretless versus fretted. But I think I've talked to like Noah and Sebastian about this. Like the violin training definitely helps
Okay.
with like the just kind
Sliding
of
down.
yeah, because like so my initial instrument was actually violin and I played classical Carnatic Indian style, and it's a very different kind of system of kind of music. I mean, there are similar rags and things, but there's a lot of fixed repertoire that you learn, and the movements are very continuous. You do play fretted or like simple notes, but there's a lot of like sliding, and that's very important. So so
There are differences and
there are differences, but it helps to have that training. I think just like to even your finger
I see.
muscles, to do first position, second position, and things like that. Yeah.
I'm not going to ask which one you like more because that would be an unfair question to ask. So I'm going to leave it at
Also
that.
not on tape.
Yes.
What was the name of the piece though?
It's Madhumalathi, the Garden of Dreams Madhumalathi piece. Yeah.
Is that what it means, Madhumalati?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's what it means.
Hindi is bad. Hindi. Madhu. Yeah.
Madhu is
Malati
like.
means dreams, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And Madhu
yeah.
means sweet. So but I just didn't know
Yeah,
like
yeah.
garden of dreams. I thought sweet dreams or something like that. Hindi is not that good anymore, but
What is the scale for Madhumalati?
Yeah, I can show it. It's actually so it has yeah.
There's lots of runs with Shuddha and Komoga. I don't know, I feel like there's less
With
with Tivra Ma and Ma. What are sort of the rules?
well, is that what about the one we Hindolhem? It has
Oh,
both.
it has.
So does Yaman Kalyan also
I guess technically,
Bihag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I may
Yeah.
What are some of the rules for combining these two in Madhumalati?
So Shudma, you don't ascend with Shudma.
Okay.
It's always in the descent.
Okay.
And it's usually kind of like the final phrase, like this. Magama. And then so that's kind of a thing. And then so I think usually you show the shudni before showing the komoni.
Okay.
Yeah. So you wouldn't ascend with komoni.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is in there? What is in the mix?
Patti,
Madhuvanti.
Madhuvanti,
I don't know.
coffee. So there's coffee and maybe a little bit of pilu or like flavors of pilu.
Yeah.
I think if you talk to different students of concept, they have different things, but
Okay.
definitely Madhuvanti and Pratip are like key ingredients, and I would say coffee too.
Okay.
Like the sare gama. You could also ascend like that.
Isn't Sare Komoga, isn't that Madhuvanti? Sare.
So you wouldn't do that in. That's what you would do in Madhuvanti.
You would skip the. Okay. I don't know that much.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Interesting. This is like a territory I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's
These ragas. It's really fun. It's like Chandrananda.
I can't find it
It is
anywhere.
kinda like
It seems like
Chandrananda.
something just Kansa made.
Yes,
created,
it's
right?
his.
I
It's
can
his
see Madhuvanshi.
composition.
I don't see anything on Wikipedia about Madhuvanshi.
Yeah, it's very specific, and it's kind of this thing where like only his students will teach you it.
Yeah, I only see
Because
all
it's
his
not-
students, anyone
yeah.
related to the school playing it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's very special.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and it's just such a beautiful piece. I mean, anyway, yeah, should probably do a Yaman.